Cancer, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Cancer love reading. Now, if this is your first time here and you have questions that you want answered about your romantic love life or your relationship, then start now by subscribing and clicking the bell icon. That way you always get notified anytime I post a new Cancer tarot reading for you. Now, clearly these cards are ready to talk, so let's get on with your Cancer love reading for the end of April 2023. Because today we are going to take a look. They're wanting to talk already. Five of Wands just jumped out. Internal conflict of some kind. We're going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting one card to represent the mutual point of interest between the two of you here at the end of April 2023. Going to get 3 cards for you, Cancer, 3 cards for your person, and then I'm going to clarify everything with the second deck, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. I'm getting screamed at to get on with it here, so we're going to start right now. I'm going to get one card for what is the mutual point of interest between Cancer and their romantic person of interest here at the end of April 2023. I gotta make sure nothing else flipped over here. That was a lot going on. Okay, let's get 3 cards for you, Cancer. What's going on with Cancer as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them here at the end of April 2023? Okay. Very peculiar so far. I got a major arcana for the shared energy affecting you both, Cancer. All 3 of your cards are major arcana cards. So 4 out of 4 cards are major arcana. This is big, powerful energy. What's going on with Cancer's person of interest as it relates to Cancer and the connection between them here at the end of April 2023? I swear something flipped over, but nothing's flipped. What's going on with Cancer's person, please? Let's get 3 cards for Cancer's person of interest. Let's get one more. What is going on with Cancer's person of interest as it relates to Cancer? Okay. There's a lot going on for them because that wanted to explode there at the end. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading. 7 of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. It's got 3 distinct meanings. I'm going to give them all to you. You take it how it resonates for you. The first meaning is lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around behind backs, trying to get away with something that someone should not be trying to get away with. Now, that's not the only meaning. The other 2 meanings, the first one is self-preservation. So the reason the dude is stealing the swords is because he doesn't want to get hurt by these swords. So he steals the swords to make sure that he can't be hurt by them. So this is an energy of someone not wanting to be hurt sometimes. It can also be an energy of leaving something behind because he can only carry 5 swords and he has to leave these other 2 swords behind. So it can mean any of those 3 things. Plenty of times it can actually mean all of those 3 things simultaneously, and it's just different layers to the story. Not sure yet. Right under the 7 of Swords, I have the 7 of Cups. So 2 7s in a row. This is Scorpio energy of options and choices, but confusion about the options and choices. There's a lot of cups here, a lot of different choices that could happen, a lot of different ways this situation could play itself out, and someone is not wanting to make a mistake and pick the wrong cup. But this can represent being emotionally confused with just the options in front of the person. It can sometimes represent like clouded judgment, clouded decision making. It can even represent things like intoxication, or being too drunk or too high and that messing with someone's judgment. It could be any of those things there. Now, I will admit right off the rip, this isn't looking good. We got sneaking around and someone with options here. 3 of Pentacles under that. This is Capricorn energy. This is supposed to be an energy of teamwork and collaboration and working together as equals to build something of value. What you would typically be building in that case is the 10 of Pentacles, like combining lives together, maximum stability and abundance. But in this particular deck, there's only one person on the card and they're working by themselves. So this is an energy that's not really teamwork and collaboration. There's an energy that's supposed to be teamwork and collaboration, but someone is doing the work by themselves of trying to build something together, but doing it by themselves. That's the overall gist of what it looks like this is going to talk to me about. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you here in some way at the end of April 2023. Doesn't always affect you both exactly the same way. Sometimes it's a case of they did something and now you're feeling this, or vice versa, or they did this and now you're feeling some type of way about it, or vice versa. Sometimes it can legitimately be an external thing that's happening that's got you both feeling this way. The mutual point of interest between the two of you here at the end of April 2023 is death. This is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. This is an ending to something. This is something dying so that it can be born again in a different way. So sometimes this is the death of the connection, especially when it's affecting both of you. Could be saying we got somebody here that's got a lot of options and was doing some sneaky, deceptive stuff when you should have been building something together, and only one of you was actually working on that. The other person wasn't present the same way, and that could be something that's ended the connection. Sometimes this is an energy that just represents a very painful transformation process taking place, or a very painful transition period. So if you think about a caterpillar, it goes into a cocoon, and when it comes out of the cocoon, it ain't a caterpillar anymore. The caterpillar aspect of itself dies in that cocoon, and it comes out the other side as a beautiful butterfly. So it comes out better than it was when it went in, but that whole period of time in the cocoon, it ain't a party. It ain't fun and games. It's a very painful metamorphosis taking place. So this can represent that kind of an energy. Let's clarify this and see what we got going on. Tell me more about death. Why is that the mutual point of interest between Cancer and their romantic person of interest here at the end of April? Thanks. A lot of extra cards here. And you cannot make this up. On the bottom of the deck, King of Cups. This is either Scorpio or Pisces energy here. I've seen, well, Seven of Cups is Scorpio. Death that I'm clarifying now is Scorpio. I've got Scorpio here. This could also represent Pisces. This could also represent the other person for you, Cancer, because you are represented by the Queen of Cups. So this could be the other half of the equation in terms of love and emotions. This is someone who's very in tune with their emotions, very in touch with their intuition. It's a decision-making energy, and when this person makes decisions, they're usually emotionally based, not logic and reason based. It's kind of the counterbalance to the King of Swords, who throws emotions out the window and it's all logic and reason. This would be someone who they consult their emotions when they make decisions. Sometimes it can be someone who is an emotional decision maker. Sometimes this can just represent a person who doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve. Like the King of Cups, doesn't matter how rough and choppy the waters are around him, he doesn't really express his emotions. You're never going to know that he's in emotional turmoil just because he's not ever going to talk about that. You're not going to be able to read that off of his face or his body language. The other side of the coin, it could represent a person who has a lot of love and emotions for you, but likewise, they don't express that either. They don't tell you, they don't show you. It's just someone who keeps the lid on all that kind of stuff. Six of Cups right behind that. More Scorpio energy. So I'm getting Scorpio. I'm getting beat in the head over and over and over again with Scorpio here. This is the card of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be. This can represent a very deep emotional connection. It can represent a connection that has like some history to it. Can represent a person from the past making a comeback. That whole term, the past, is kind of vague in general though, because technically 3 seconds ago is the past. So I don't really know how far past we're talking here, or if this is just talking about that you still have a lot of love and emotions for them and is still thinking about the past with them. It could also be telling me that your person has something from their past making a comeback here, and that could be why there was options and sneaky deceptive behavior. Hard to tell yet at this point. Yeah, there's something to do with the past and this Aries energy of the Three of Wands. This is an energy of waiting on something to happen. This is about being at the beginning stages of manifesting something where a person already knows what they want and they've already chosen the path that they believe gets them to what they actually want. And they've started taking actions to create the thing that they want. It just hasn't fully materialized yet. It hasn't really happened yet. So this is an energy of having this positive expectancy that the thing I want is going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So I'm still kind of in this energy of waiting on it to occur. And waiting on some opportunity. Ace of Pentacles is a practical, tangible, real world, physical world opportunity presenting itself. That's the seed that has the potential to grow into the Ten of Pentacles that we all want. So this is twice now already that I've alluded to the Ten of Pentacles. This Three of Pentacles is teamwork and collaboration to build that together. This is the seed that has the potential to grow into the Ten of Pentacles. It's not the Ten of Pentacles in and of itself. It's just got the potential to get there, which is the thing about aces. You have to grab these and do something with these opportunities, or they just represent empty potential. But I've got an energy here of something from the past that's being waited on, an opportunity related to something from the past that's being waited on, and someone not really letting the cat out of the bag. That's very funny how that jumps out and hits the Death card. When I clarify death, normally I get 3 cards to clarify, and I got 5 here. 6 of Swords, 5 of Wands, which is the card that jumped out of this main deck when I was doing the little introduction to the video here. 7 of Swords again, Page of Wands, 8 of Cups. 6 of Swords is Aquarius energy. So other than Scorpio, what I have seen is Aquarius a few times here. This is an energy of moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving these rough, choppy waters of the past behind and moving forward into clear waters, calm waters, where there's more clarity, where you're moving forward toward what it is that you actually want. At its core, this is the 6 of Swords, so the card that comes before it is the 5 of Swords, which represents some conflict, some mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. So this is about moving away from something painful that's already happened, leaving it behind and moving forward into the future toward what you want. But the woman and the child and all the swords that are stuck in the boat represent that there is something you're carrying forward with you when you do this. So it carries an implied choice, and the choice is like the painful thing has already happened. There's nothing you can do about that because it's already happened. It's in the past. The choice you really have here is when you move forward into the future, are you going to carry the burdens that that painful thing caused you into your future and let that continue to weigh you down? Or are you going to carry forward with you the lessons that painful thing taught you? That way, nothing like that happens to you again in the future. So there's some energy here of leaving something behind and moving away from something painful. We've got the 5 of Wands next, which is Leo energy. 5s are conflict. So this is some sort of a conflict in the desires here. This is usually an internal conflict. So it could be where like a piece of you wants one thing, but then this different piece of you wants pretty much the opposite of that. And you're playing this internal battle of tug of war inside what it is that you actually want. So you're pulling yourself in multiple different directions at the same time. Because this is in the shared energy, this could also represent that there's an internal conflict in the connection itself, where they want one thing and you want something that's different than that. And instead of both of you pulling in the same direction, you're both pulling against each other here. 7 of Swords right in the center of all of this, which again is the overall energy of the reading. Aquarius energy, lying, cheating, stealing, deception, sneaking around behind backs, trying to get away with something, can also at the same time be an energy of not wanting to be hurt. And possibly like having this decision about, is it dead or not? And do I leave this person behind and move forward without them or not? And I don't want to be hurt anymore, but then there's this other piece of me that still has all these emotions for them, and I have all this history with them, and I'm not sure what to do, and I'm like pulling myself in 2 different directions. But next I have the Page of Wands. Pages are messengers, so this would be news and messages and communications about passion and desire. So passionate messages. This is also the minor arcana version of the Fool. So the Fool is about just taking that blind leap of faith, getting ahead of myself, but the Fool is your very first card. This is a toned down version of the Fool. This is not the person who just throws caution to the wind and says, screw it, I'll jump off the cliff and see what happens. This is the person who has the willingness to take the very first steps down a brand new path towards something there's passion and desire for. And then the final clarifier here is the Eight of Cups, which is Pisces energy. This is detachment. This is emotional detachment, physical detachment, like physically walking away. This whole energy here started with an energy of leaving something behind and moving away from it and towards something else. I've got an energy that has the willingness to take the first steps on something new that there's passion, desire for, and a detaching type of an energy about leaving the 8 cups that I have behind and going down a brand new path towards something that I believe is better out there for me. So this can be an energy of someone who has, like, is the grass greener on the other side of the fence type of a syndrome going on. It can also represent, from your point of view, like realizing that 8 cups is the best this person is ever going to be able to give me. They're just simply not capable of giving me any more than 8 cups. And I deserve more than 8 cups. I deserve my 9th cup. I deserve my 10th cup. So this can sometimes be a decision of detaching from something and making that very difficult decision to walk away from what you have to go down a new path in search of your 9th and 10th cup, because you realize this person can't give you more than that. It could be either of those. It could be all of that stuff at the same time. It could even be that there's a piece of you that knows you deserve better than that, and you're internally conflicted because you have feelings for them and there's a history for them. And you might even have an opportunity that you're waiting on here, or they have an opportunity that they've been waiting on, and that could be what caused something to happen here. At this stage in the reading, it is not uncommon that I don't fully comprehend what this is trying to tell me. I will come back to this again as I go through your energy, because then I can see how it applies to you. I'll come back to it again when I go through their energy, because then I can see how it applies to them. But that's the shared energy affecting both of you here, Cancer, in April 2023, the very end of it. Your energy in the connection is the Fool, the Sun, and Temperance. So the Fool, this is the major arcana version of this Page of Wands that we see here. This is, it's feeling not like your energy already. Like, I know that like a person's first card is always the most important card for them. And you would think that this is your energy because it's on your side of the table. But a lot of times this will be your person's energy, and it's showing up as your first card because what they're doing is affecting you so deeply here. So this would be an energy of someone who's just taken the blind leap of faith on something. The Fool does not need to know what all the steps are from beginning to end before they take the first step. They don't need to know what the final outcome is going to be before they take the first step. This is just that energy of like, you know what, screw it, I'm going for it, and I'm going to leap off the cliff, and I'll worry about how to grow wings on my way down. Like, I'll figure this out as I move along. Now, this can also represent someone who is acting foolish, displaying foolish behavior, taking risks, like taking risks that are unnecessary, risks outside of the connection. It can be any of that stuff. But when I've got the Seven of Swords here, like doing some sneaky deceptive stuff, when I have all these options and I'm just not present in the connection the same way you are, son of, I have the World right under that. I guess I didn't go far enough down. This is the final card of the major arcana. The Fool is the very first card. This is card 0, card 21. So this represents a complete cycle between the two of you from beginning to end. The World is the ending of the cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of a new cycle. Got the the Queen of Wands right under that. This is usually Leo or Aries energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what she wants, and she goes after it. She doesn't take no for an answer. This is someone who there would be very charismatic, good looking, sexy, vivacious, someone who like there's some attraction towards, some physical, sexual attraction toward. Let's take a look at the Fool for you. Clarify the Fool, please. Why is the Fool here? It's Cancer's first card. Look at that. There's a lot going on with this card. Try and keep this in order. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles. We already saw that 3 cards down here in the overall energy. This is Capricorn energy of teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. You would be building the 10 of Pentacles here, the combining together of your lives. And in the midst of doing that, there's the Knight of Cups. Knights are action takers, so this is actions toward love and emotions. This is like someone who is moving forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, like flirtatious behavior, trying to move forward with a love offer or advance a love offer or a love connection in some way, trying to move that forward. And then there's the Chariot, Cancer's major arcana card. This is the fastest energy in the deck. So it's about moving forward past any problems or obstacles or challenges that are in the way, like using just sheer will alone to get past all that stuff and moving forward very fast in success and victory. Now, it's the fastest energy in the deck when the driver of the Chariot is in alignment. In other words, when all pieces of himself are pulling in the same direction, very, very fast energy. When the driver is not in alignment, this thing is every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man, doesn't move at all. Or worse yet, one piece pulls one direction, another piece pulls a different direction, and it tears itself in half as it tries to move forward. That's kind of the energy I was feeling here with this Five of Wands. Like there's definitely some misalignment here. The Hierophant right under that. This is the Taurus Major Arcana card. This is a card of commitment. It's about being in a committed relationship, a committed connection. It's about like trying to advance that to the next level. So this would be a marriage card. This would be like engagement. At the very least, being in a fully committed relationship. And it's like that was moving forward quickly, but now there's some misalignment here that has changed everything. And it might be that the two of you are pulling in different directions in terms of commitment. Not 100% sure yet. Clearly, you're pulling in different directions because you are committed to the connection and building something of value together. And meanwhile, there's someone else advancing a cup of love in a different way. When I clarify the Fool, which is really feeling like both meanings, like yes, you're ready to just go for it, let's do this, but then this person is taking foolish risks outside of the connection. Clarifying that, I got the Empress, the Sun, the Two of Swords, Seven of Wands, 10 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Normally get 3 clarifiers. I got 5 here. I just got 6 here for this first card in your energy, Cancer. The Empress, this is the mother of the tarot deck. She's perpetually pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. So she represents the birth of something new. So this feels like dual message here, like you're ready to just move forward in this, birthing this connection into something new, like taking it to the next level of commitment. And meanwhile, your person is taking risks outside of the connection, birthing a new connection, it looks like. It's interesting though, because we saw the Three of Wands at some point here in the bottom of the deck when I clarified Death, and that's an energy of waiting on something, being at the beginning stages of manifesting the thing and expecting it to arrive. It's just not here yet. She's card 3 of the Major Arcana, so she rules over the 3s of the 4 suits. So she is how things get manifested, how they get birthed into reality here. Next I have the Sun. This is a Leo Major Arcana card. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, abundance, bliss, harmony. Like you really cannot get a better card than this in a love reading. So it's like for you, birthing this connection here was a source of happiness. The connection was a source of happiness. This would be like viewing your person as the sunshine that lights up your life, like the way the solar system's put together. All the planets are in orbit around the sun because it has all this gravity and we're just like stuck in its orbit. it's kind of like that's how this connection felt for you. I'm getting the sense too, though, that like the other meaning for the sun is illumination, as in the card that comes before this is the moon, and the moon would represent it's dark. There's things hidden in the dark. There's things you don't see that you don't know about, secrets. And the next step is the sun comes out and shines its light into the darkness and exposes what's been hiding in the dark. And what's been hiding in the dark was foolish behavior, risk-taking behavior, birthing something new, lying, deception, sneaking around. I've got that Seven of Swords, like both decks that I'm using, and we're early stages of this reading, so it's very clear that sneaky, deceptive shit was going on. Next, I have the Two of Swords. This is Libra energy. Twos are decisions or choices. This is a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet, either because there's not enough information to decide, or there's something that you can't see yet, hence the blindfold. Sometimes this is a decision needs made and it hasn't been made because it's not your decision, it's their decision, so you can't actually make it. But a lot of times this will represent a person who has the blinders on, and there's something that they don't want to see. They don't want to look at that as an option. They don't want that to be true. So they keep the blinders on purpose and try to not see something, and that prevents a decision from being made. This would be like when you know something's up, but you're just sweeping it under the rug and pretending like that's not happening because you don't have proof. You didn't actually see it, but you don't want to see it on the other side of that coin. Next, I have the Seven of Wands. This is Leo energy. This is a defensive kind of an energy here. This is like someone defending their position on something, defending their stance on something, being willing to fight this oncoming energy, to fight to protect something that's important to them, something that they want, something that they have desire for, protect what they believe in, fight for the connection. It's almost like, dude, I get happiness from this person and I don't want to see something about them, and I'm like trying to fight that off so that I can protect this connection. It could also be that something got exposed and you haven't made a decision because your person is denying what you think is going on. No, it wasn't me. I'm not doing anything like that. And they're defending against accusations. It could be either of those. I got the Ten of Cups here, Pisces energy. The Ten of Cups is most people's goal in love and relationships. This is that happy fairy tale love connection that we all want. It's that happy fairy tale ending that we all want. It's like two people that are emotionally happy and content coming together and combining together emotionally to where the cups overflow, and then now the 10th cup is filled up and we're all together and happy and fully in love with each other, which sounds like a great energy, but there is a negative side to every one of these cards, and the negative aspect of the 10 of Cups is that fairy tale component to it. It's like sometimes we want that fairy tale love connection so bad that we'll delude ourselves into believing that the connection I'm in is that 10 of Cups that I've always dreamed about. Especially when I've got energy here of like fighting to protect something that you believe in or that you want, and protecting this 10 of Cups happy fairy tale kind of a thing that you want it to be, and not being willing to look at something else because I don't want to see that, because then that would prove this wrong. More often than I see this card, especially in personal readings, I see this card a lot, and more often than it means, oh, this is the happy fairy tale love connection, it means that at one point I believed that's what it was, and then something happened and changed all of that. The final card I have here is the Nine of Swords. Gemini energy of fear, worry, anxiety, thinking about something over and over again with so much fear and worry behind your thoughts that it starts to stress you out and physically affect you. This is mental anguish here. And you can see, again, the person has their eyes covered. This situation is something they don't want to see. They don't want to look at it, which is why they're covering their eyes. And that's twice in this very first column of cards I've gotten that information of like, there's something here that you don't see because you don't want to see it. You're aware that it's there, but you don't want that to be the case. And now you're having all this fear and worry about it. You're having all this fear and worry about, is this the 10 of Cups with this person or not? Is this worth me fighting for? And I'm torn about that. Should I move on and leave this behind me? When I do move forward, are we leaving behind what happened and going forward together? Or am I moving forward without this person and I'm leaving them behind? And I'm torn about that. And I'm torn about this whole sneaking around thing. And I'm torn about not wanting to be hurt anymore. And I'm torn about whether I'm leaving them behind. And I'm torn about whether they can give me more than 8 cups or not. Because it's like at some point, you believed that they were giving you all 10 cups. And now it's like there's all this fear, worry, and anxiety that they're not capable of doing any better than 8. Central to your energy, Cancer, is the Sun again. So 2 decks I'm using. I've got the Sun in both decks. The Leo Major Arcana card. Again, happiness, joy, abundance, bliss, harmony. But it can also represent something being illuminated. Tell me more about the Sun, please. Why is this central energy for Cancer here at the end of April 2023? Let's get one more. Why is the Sun here? Okay. Feels like there's more in there, but I'm not going to shuffle again because I don't want this to turn into a 2-hour reading for you. Bottom of the deck, the Hierophant again. So again, Taurus Major Arcana card. Commitment, like being in a committed relationship. There's happiness for you tied to that. Again, this is a marriage card. It could be that you're married to this person and this was your source of happiness. Could be just the idea of getting married to them or being in a committed connection with them is a source of happiness for you. But something related to the commitment is off here. This Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. This is very slow forward movement. This is like really monotonous, frustrating energy. Like when you're wanting something to happen, like commitment, and it's not moving at the pace you want it to. This is the snail's pace. This is like, it would be like watching a flower grow. You could literally stare at that flower all day long from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed, and you can't tell that it's moved at all. It is growing, and if you put like a time-lapse camera on it and then several days later watch the time-lapse footage, you can actually see the flower grow. But when you're looking at it, it's like nothing's happening. So this is a really frustrating kind of an energy like that. It can also represent a person, meaning your person, who knows what they're supposed to do, but just doesn't do it for some reason. He has that Ace of Pentacles that we saw in his hand. He's aware he has the seed of abundance. He's holding it. He's touching it. He's looking directly at it. Yet the fields in the background are barren. They're completely empty because he hasn't planted the seed yet. He knows he's supposed to. He just hasn't done it. So there's some element of the commitment related to commitment of what I know I'm supposed to do this, but I'm not. Instead, I'm displaying foolish behavior and taking risks outside of the connection. It's like, again, though, this is you wanting the commitment and you're ready to take the leap of faith on it. Screw it, let's do it. We'll figure it out as we go. But they're not moving that same pace. Yeah, you're ready to just jump right into the teamwork and the collaboration and building something together, building that 10 of Pentacles together. And they're not. There's this actions toward love and emotions here. I think something is getting exposed regarding that. Now, when I clarify the Sun, I get the Knight of Swords, the 7 of Cups again, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Lovers. The Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck. This is like very fast forward movement. This is someone who rushes forward and takes this rapid, decisive action very quickly. This is not the person who comes rushing in all fast and then stops to think about it. What should I do here? Or read the instruction manual. This is the person who just rushes in really abruptly and spontaneously. They do something that they didn't think about first. They didn't think about it while they were doing it. They don't think about it until after they've already done it and moved out. It's like, I'm in it, doing it, and I'm gone. And then I think about it. Very abrupt, spontaneous kind of an energy here that wasn't thought through. And then I've got the Seven of Cups, which again is the second card down in the overall energy, right behind that Seven of Swords. Scorpio energy of options and choices and confusion about the choices. And there's a lot of different stuff I've got here in front of me, and I don't want to pick the wrong thing and make some kind of mistake. But there's clouded judgment, there's confusion, there's possible intoxication here. There's something off. Is something off here. Now it could be here that you had this happiness tied to them, and then this abrupt action took place that wasn't very well thought through, and now you're emotionally confused about what to do. It's in the column. The card I'm clarifying is the Sun, and right beside this card is the Sun from the other deck. So this really feels like I had a lot of happiness tied to this person, and now I'm confused about what to do. Ten of Pentacles, because I thought we were going in this direction. This is most people's goal. We already have the Ten of Cups, most people's goal in love and relationships. This is most people's goal in the physical world. This is maximum stability, abundance, prosperity, the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources. This is like physically combining lives together. And that's sitting right beside Two of Swords, like a decision about that needs made, and it's not being made. There's some element to that you don't want to see. And there's confusion about this. The Lovers, Gemini's major arcana card. This is a powerful connection from your point of view. I want to be very clear, and you will see any number of tarot readers tell you that this card means your twin flames, or this card means your soulmates, and this card means that the universe or God or spirit or source, or however you personally view that, is saying that you guys are supposed to be together. That's not what this card means. That ain't never been what this card means. This card has nothing to do with twin flames. That whole concept of twin flames didn't even get invented until the 1970s. The tarot deck, this particular tarot deck, the Rider-Waite deck, was published in 1909, 60-some years before twin flames was even an actual thing that people talked about. This ain't got shit to do with twin flames. This isn't even saying that you're supposed to be together. What this is saying, because it's in your energy, is at some point you felt the power of this connection. You felt the gravity of this connection. You had happiness tied to this connection. You felt like this person is your happily ever after. Like you felt that about them. A long, long time ago, before this card was called the Lovers, it used to be called the Choice. It used to be called the twin flames or the soulmates or the you're supposed to be together. It used to be called the Choice. And it represents the choice, the interconnectedness between us all, and how when a person you're with makes choices, it affects you. When you make choices, it affects the people you're connected to. It is even representative of the interconnectedness between humanity. You know, like, I can't pollute the environment without it affecting the people around me. Like, we can't destroy the planet without it affecting all of us. So it's the interconnectedness of all of that. It can even represent a choice between two lovers here, or a choice about the love connection. There's right beside it Seven of Wands, that defensive energy, like wanting to defend what you want, wanting to protect something that's important to you. And that's tied directly to this Ten of Cups idea. And the Lovers is tied directly to this combining together physically idea here. Final card for you, Cancer, is the Sagittarius Major Arcana card, Temperance. Sometimes this is a card of patience. It's like not being in a hurry, not being in a rush, being willing to blend things together little bits at a time, and take a step back and look at the big picture to see how is it all working out before you come back in and make some fine-tuning adjustments to that. Being willing to go back and forth about that and be patient with that and keep adjusting things until it's just right. Sometimes this is a card of reconciliation, meaning like, let's take this love of these two people that's been separated and recombine it back together and blend us back together. Sometimes it's just an indicator that something is seriously out of whack and it needs rebalanced. It would be like trying to make a cup of coffee and you're not paying attention and you put like twice as much sugar as you normally would in it, and you take a drink and it's like, oh, this is too sweet. I can't drink this. You'd have to like pour some of it out and put some unsweetened coffee in it and like do that a little bit until you get it balanced out to where it's back to being even the way it's supposed to be, and then you can drink it. So it's feeling like you've been patient in this connection and you're trying to blend the two of you together to make something new, but something is still off. Something is still out of whack here. Tell me about Temperance. Why is that the last card here for Cancer, please? Why is Temperance here? Bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is a singles energy. This is with you or without you or in spite of you. I'm single and abundant and prosperous in my own right. I'm self-sufficient. I can take care of myself in the physical world. I don't need you to financially take care of me. I don't need you to physically take care of me. I can do that all on my own. This does not mean you want to be single. It just means that something's going on where you are single right now. Now, it could also represent, I just got done talking about something is clearly out of balance here. Something's like out of whack that needs readjusting. The other meaning to this card is it can represent a person, like as in your person, who's not single, but they're presenting themselves in the physical world as if they are single. Ace of Pentacles, some physical opportunity presenting itself here. Three of Wands, waiting on something. So this is you waiting on some opportunity here with this person. Like you're single currently. You're waiting on an opportunity to present itself. And you have this positive belief that it's going to. It just hasn't happened yet. Cancer energy of the Four of Cups. This is emotional discontentment. This is not being fully happy with what's right in front of you here. And you're daydreaming and distracted by this other cup, this other thing that you believe will lead you to your happiness. Notice the person is staring at Three Cups, which is an energy of either reconciliation again, which is telling me again, you're not together with this person, and you're staring at this idea of reconciliation, and you're not happy because it hasn't been delivered to you yet. This could also represent that what you're not happy with and where your focus is at is on that third cup and the other cup that has been brought into this equation between the two of you. Now, this can also represent a person who has made a love offer to you and you haven't accepted it or rejected it yet. It's just been left hanging here in the air with nothing being done about it. Or this could even be you contemplating making a love offer to your person, looking for that opportunity and not wanting to wait on it anymore, losing your patience with that, and contemplating making that love offer to them and just haven't done so yet. It could be any of those things. Now, when I clarify this Temperance card, I get the World again, the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. So again, the World is the final card of the major arcana. I saw it here 4 cards down in the overall energy. It's the ending of a cycle and at the same time the beginning of the next cycle. It's sitting right beside this very fast, abrupt, spontaneous action taker that did something without thinking about it, and the birth of something new. That is what has caused an ending to a cycle here. And you're looking for a new cycle to begin where it looks like from your perspective what you're hoping for is that this can be evened back out and can be put back together here. Like ending of a cycle of where this is dead and a beginning of a new cycle where you can be the Queen of Cups. And I remember I saw the King of Cups on the bottom of the deck when I clarified death, looking where you can get back to having your other half back, so to speak. This is Cancer energy. This is someone who is very in touch with her emotions, very in touch with her intuition. The only card in the deck that's more intuitive than the Queen of Cups is the High Priestess herself. So your intuition is on point. Your emotions are on point. She's also the only character in the deck that has a lid on top of her cup, and she does that as a way to protect her emotions from getting contaminated. That's happened to her before. She's been emotionally hurt because something got in there, and it took a while to get over that, and it was a pain in the ass to get over that. So she protects her emotions now. What she really wants to do, though, is take the lid off that cup and pour her love and emotions into someone. But right beside that is that energy of confusion about all of this, being emotionally confused. On the other side of the confusion is happiness. On the other side of all these options is happiness. But then I've also got this Queen of Swords energy. And if this doesn't perfectly describe this internal conflict where a piece of you wants one thing and another piece of you wants something different than that, and there's this internal battle going on between those two parts of yourself, that's what this is about. These are like counterbalances of each other. This is someone who decides based on what she feels, and this is a person who decides based on what I see right in front of me. What are the truth and the facts here? The Queen of Swords, I call her she who knows the truth. She's about speaking the truth on something, like speaking your side of the story on something. And that's why she holds her hand out like that. She's offering the chance to someone to tell their side of the story. Speak your truth to me. I've got that concept played out on the beginning and the last column here. This would be, I know the truth. Let's talk about this. Tell me your side of the story. And my side of the story is, no, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It's not that at all. No, you're wrong. It's not me. The problem with her is she already knows the truth. So the truth you tell her better match the truth she knows, or she cuts your head off with that sword. This is the off with your head queen that don't take no shit. And she's right beside this Ten of Pentacles, this idea of us being combined together. And that's right beside the Two of Swords, this decision that needs made about us being combined together, the decision that needs made about cutting off the thing or the person that's no longer in my best interest anymore. Having the blinders on and at the same time knowing the truth and just not wanting to see it. Not wanting to face it, not wanting that to actually be the truth. That's kind of another thing this is represent to me. It's a conflict between your head and your heart. Like, common sense is telling you one thing, but your emotions are telling you something different. Hence the confusion here. It's interesting, when I read this in rows, here's the first row that doesn't have a complete row to it. Fighting for this love connection that I believe in. And then there's emptiness beyond the Queen of Swords. That tells me it's been cut off. It's been severed. There has been some truth spoken. The next row, the only card in it, is this idea of this being a happy fairy tale love connection. There's literally nothing beside it at all. Just emptiness, just gap. And then we've got this empty row that only has fear, worry, anxiety, stress, mental anguish, not wanting to see the situation for what it is, not wanting to look at it for what it is. It's like you thought that this was the Ten of Cups, but in reality it's just emptiness. It's not the Ten of Cups. But there's still that element of you that doesn't want to see it because emotionally you're so attached to the idea of this person being my happily ever after. Sometimes we get too fixated on the specifics of something, and instead of wanting that Ten of Cups happy fairy tale ending, like conceptually, we fixate on a specific person. And it's like, I don't just want the Ten of Cups, I want the Ten of Cups with that person. And that causes problems a lot of the time. Anyway, that's your energy in this connection, Cancer. Let's scoot this over and get some more room. Take a look at your person's energy, because their first card is the Eight of Wands. Central energy is Justice, and the final energy for them is the Queen of Pentacles. Eight of Wands is Sagittarius energy. This is the second fastest energy in the deck. The only thing faster than this is the Chariot. This is rapid back and forth passionate communication. This is very rapid forward movement on something there's a lot of passion and desire for. It can represent travel. My throat's closing off here. This can also be an incredible amount of energy coming at someone all at one time. Like it would be like taking a drink of water out of a fire hose. It's too much all at once. It's too much to handle, too much to process, and it's overwhelming. Tell me about this Eight of Wands. Why is that the first card for Cancer's person? Okay, we're not taking it. Yeah, we got a lot going on, that is for sure. Bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. Taurus energy of commitment, taking it to the next level, being in a committed relationship, marriage. There's overwhelm attached to that for your person here. The Chariot. There's a piece of them that was going in this direction, but then there's also another piece of them that's going in a different direction here, which is why I'm seeing this Five of Wands that affects them. This is, like I said, fastest energy in the deck. If the driver is in alignment, if all pieces of them are pulling in the same direction, this would have been straight into commitment super, super fast. But not all pieces of them are pulling in the same direction, which is why there's this separating kind of an energy here. Yeah, another piece of them, instead of pulling toward commitment, it's pulling toward advancing romantic offers and gestures and flirting and like trying to move forward with a cup of love somewhere else. While there is this idea of teamwork and collaboration and working together as equals. So this is a time when you guys are actually together that they start doing this sneaky deceptive stuff, that they have other options and they start moving on those other options. And there's a piece of them that I mean, clearly they're doing it. There's right there in the center of the energy, there's the willingness to take the steps in that direction. There's the emotional detaching and going in that direction. There's an internal conflict about leaving something behind or not. But ultimately, that's what happens. When I clarify the Eight of Wands, again, I get 6 cards. I got 6 cards for your first column, 6 cards for them, 5 cards to clarify the shared energy. That's a lot of cards. I get the Moon, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Justice, Four of Cups. The Moon is fear, worry, and anxiety, usually from uncertainty. Like when the moon's out, it's dark outside. You can't see the full path in front of you. So it's really hard to tell, am I going the right direction or not? Did I make a wrong turn somewhere? Is this the path I'm even supposed to be on? Or should I go the different direction here? So this would be like the uncertainty of that causing anxiety for your person. It also represents something being hidden in the dark, a secret being kept. Especially when I've got the Seven of Swords both times out here, and I've got all these options and choices. Again, that card's out here in both decks too. And then right under it is that energy of them not being in this the same way you are. And the cycle coming to an end and a new cycle beginning with what looks like a different person. Like you're supposed to be Queen of Cups. I'm not saying you can't be sexy and vivacious and attractive and someone have sexual desire for you. I'm not saying that at all. But this is a person that's either Aries or Leo or Sagittarius or fits that kind of a description that this person has all this desire for. Next, I have the Wheel of Fortune, which represents the 4 fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. This is a change in the luck and fortune here. This is a turn of events. This is things were going good and then suddenly it went to hell in a handbasket. What changed everything is the secrets and this overwhelming amount of energy that they have. They're probably overwhelmed with commitment. They're probably pulled in more than one direction. Clearly something has changed. Massive transformation, painful transformation. Clearly they had secrets. Next, I have the Two of Wands, Aries energy. Again, it's a choice. It's a 2. This is a fork in the road for them. It's a decision point in their life about this connection, about their life in general. And it's a decision about what is it that I want? What is it that I want my world to be like? And which of these two paths gets me to the thing that I want, and which path do I have to leave behind? The shared energy starts out with moving away from something and leaving it behind in the past and moving forward toward what the person wants. And it ends with emotionally detaching and walking away from something that they had already, going down a new path. And that concept is here. Like, there has been a change that caused them to pick a different path. Next card is the Knight of Wands. Second fastest knight in the deck. We've already got that fastest knight in the deck out here. The person who took an action they didn't think about very well first. I've got the Eight of Wands and the Chariot that I've seen a couple of times now. This is the fourth fastest energy. So we literally have the four fastest energies in the tarot deck out here all at once. This is someone who comes rushing in, taking rapid, passionate action on something. This would be somebody who's really gung-ho, and they say this is what I want, and they start taking action on it, and then suddenly they pull back, and now they've changed their mind. This is a person who's like wishy-washy and in and out and back and forth, and like they can't stay fully committed to what they say they want, and they keep backpedaling off of that. This can also get referred to as the player of the tarot deck. It can be that person who comes rushing in all passionately and gets what they want, and then they rush out somewhere else all passionately and get what they want there, and they come back and forth playing both sides of the fence, being a player. Justice is next. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Justice is the central energy for your person, the card I'm going to clarify next. This is a Libra Major Arcana card. This is the most powerful card, Balance, in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. The sword on the card is used to cut away something that's not in balance, so balance can be restored, and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. Like, what's supposed to happen can happen. So just the fact that it's here tells me something unfair and unjust is going on that needs cut away so that what's supposed to happen can happen. It's tied directly to this wishy-washy bullshit energy, this in and out, back and forth, can't keep my mind made up kind of an energy, this player kind of an energy, this person who's at this choice point and what is it I really want. Final card to clarify the Eight of Wands is the Four of Cups, Cancer energy. Again, being emotionally discontent, not happy with what's right in front of me, and I keep daydreaming about and getting distracted by this other cup, this other thing that I believe is going to lead me to my happiness and fulfillment, and I can't get that out of my mind. They've already taken actions on this, though. Central to their energy is Justice. Again, Libra Major Arcana, doing the right, fair, just thing. Something is out of balance that needs cut away so balance can be restored. This is telling me something that was not supposed to happen, not fair, has already happened, and there's this need to get justice for that. Need to balance that out. Tell me about Justice, please. Why is Justice the central energy for Cancer's person, please? Get one more. Thank you. Jeez. Bottom of the deck. The Hierophant. I've seen this a lot. It would not surprise me in the least bit if you guys are married or lived together or we're going down that path. This is commitment and something out of balance in the commitment, something unfair going on in the commitment. Now my throat's closing off again. That's twice that's happened to me on your person's side. This is, they've got something that they're not talking about or they're lying about. There's something they don't want said. There's something they don't want uncovered. Right under the Hierophant is Death. Scorpio Major Arcana. That's the shared energy affecting both of you. There's been a death to the idea of commitment with them. Something unfair going on that caused a death to the commitment. The Tower right behind that. This is the collapse of an important structure in someone's life. This is the collapse of the commitment. This is the collapse of the connection itself. This can even sometimes be a metaphor for the collapse of a belief system about this connection, about this commitment. You know, on your side, I see the belief of, I thought this was my one, the one for me. I thought this was the person I'm supposed to be with, my soulmate, or God forbid we use that stupid twin flame bullshit that was just made up in the 70s. I thought this was my happily ever after. I thought this was my person. And again, throat shutting down again. Then that belief was shattered in front of me. And now that whole belief is in question. That mental model that I was operating from, that map I was working from, turns out to be incorrect. Queen of Pentacles. Again, getting ahead of myself, but that's their last card that I'm going to clarify next. This is Capricorn energy. This is one half of the two people that work together as equals to build the Ten of Pentacles, the combining together of lives. This is the person who is the centerpiece of the home and the family life. She represents like the wife figure, or the stable, committed person I'm building my world around type of a person here. And there has been some death to the commitment, some collapse to the commitment, to the relationship. Maybe it's a collapse to you because they're doing something unfair. Maybe it's their belief about wife and marriage and combining lives together and being in a commitment has collapsed. And right underlying all of that is the Fool, which was your very first card. And again, I said right at the very beginning, a lot of times your first card ends up not really being as much your energy as it is your person's energy. And it's just your first card because what they're doing is affecting you so strongly. And there we have that foolish behavior, the risk-taking behavior. Like, well, they said, screw it, I'm just going to go for it, and we'll worry about figuring this out as I go along. There's my throat shutting down again. They were lying to you. They were keeping secrets from you and taking risks outside of the connection, and that has collapsed everything. Not just about the commitment, but it's collapsed everything for you. And there's their energy of that Knight of Pentacles again. The person who knows what they're supposed to do, but just doesn't do it. They weren't interested in the right, fair, just thing happening. They were interested in something else. When I clarify justice, I get the 8 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. I don't read reversals. I don't even pay attention when I do it. When one comes out upside down, I just turn it right side up, because like I don't hang pictures on my wall upside down. I don't put pictures in my wallet upside down. I don't edit like the wallpaper on my phone or my computer and flip it upside down. Like they're meant to be read right side up, but this one is screamed at me not to turn it right side up. Like I don't even pay attention when I do it. You probably saw me I don't know how many different times because I don't pay attention, but I just flip them right side up, and this one's not letting me. This 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy of work, like putting in the work, effort, and energy on something to get what I want, or at the very least being willing to put in the work to get what I want. In this case, it's sitting directly beside the moon. I'm working in the dark. My work is being hidden in the dark. I'm working on something that's a secret from you. You don't see it because I don't want you to see it. And it's so strange because this Justice card, the person on the card, their eyes are literally fused shut. They can't open their eyes. They can't see. And what they were working on was being done in a way that kept it hidden, kept it unseen. And at some point, it was working on you. At some point, you didn't know this information. But then again, at some point, it was illuminated to you. And you didn't want that to be true, so you didn't want to see it initially. This Page of Swords, pages are messengers, so news, messages, communications. This is also an energy of someone who's trying to learn something, trying to figure something out, like doing their due diligence on something. So a lot of times this ends up being like spying on somebody, or like checking them out, trying to figure out what's up with them. So this could be like scoping out their Facebook and their Instagram and, you know, stalking them online or whatever. This could be like driving past their house or where they work, trying to get some information, asking people about them, trying to figure out what's going on. This could indicate they're keeping tabs on you. This could just as easily indicate I was working on all this and it was totally hidden, and then you started snooping around. This could be you looking for information. This could be someone that is external to both of you, some third party that knows you both, and they saw something and came and reported it. Hell, what we're doing right now with tarot, with me digging into what the hell's going on here, that technically qualifies as the Page of Swords. But that Page of Swords is what changed something here. It's what caused a turn of events to happen. So they got found out in some way, whether you found it out or someone else did and told you about it. But that is what's turned this Three of Pentacles upside down. I saw the Three of Pentacles here, 3 cards down. So each one of these cards, hell, even the World, all 4 of these cards have been verified by the other deck in all the clarifiers that have come out. It's verifying this because I said this is supposed to be teamwork and collaboration. And you can see the teamwork and the collaboration and the working together right here on the card. But in this deck, there's only one person. So you were in this in a whole different way than they were in this. You were present in it, but they weren't. And this is coming out upside down to signify that. This commitment, this teamwork, this working together as equals, is that really the world that I want or not? And should I leave that behind? This is what your person is trying to figure out here. And they're doing that after they've already started some unfair thing. Already started being a player, already playing 2 sides of the same fence here. They've already started taking the first steps in that direction before they detach. There is the process of this teamwork supposedly happening here. And I saw that over here too, where there's the 10 of Pentacles when all this is going on. And from your point of view, there's the 10 of Cups already and happiness already when this is already going on. This is like, there is no teamwork and collaboration here. Something's wrong with that. And they're trying to choose what they really want in regards to that. But then, like, so far, there's nothing next to these cards. There's nothing next to the player. There's nothing next to the unfair, unjust thing. There's nothing next to this cup being offered or accepted or being happy with it or whatever. It's like there's nothing there. Queen of Pentacles is their final card, Capricorn energy. This again is like the wife figure or the stable, committed person that I'm building my world around type of an energy. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here as their final card, please? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here as their final card? I think my neighbor got a new dog. I don't recognize that puppy sound and bark. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. Aries energy, being at the beginning stages of manifesting something related to wife, stable, committed person I'm building my world with, and having this positive expectancy that the thing that I want is going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm waiting on it. There's another card about manifesting, the Magician. This is the Mac Daddy master manifester of the deck. This is a person who has all the tools and abilities to create whatever it is their will desires. They can shape the world around them to be the way they want it to be. This is about a person's thoughts and actions creating what they experience. King of Pentacles. That's the other half to that Queen of Pentacles I'm clarifying. This would be like the husband, the counterpart to her. The 2 people that work together to build the 10 of Pentacles. This is like waiting to manifest that. They're waiting on something else that they're manifesting. And underlying that is this King of Pentacles energy and the severing of that. This is this is the sword you would use to sever a connection, sever a relationship, to cut off something that's not for me, or to cut off something that's not fair and just and balanced for me. Yeah. Severing this idea of being the other half to this connection, this married couple, this living together, two people here, and becoming single. This is with you or without you or in spite of you. I can do this on my own. I don't need this. I can do this by myself. And then an opportunity presenting itself. A physical, I can touch it with my hands, real world physical opportunity. And then there's communication and news and messages about that opportunity presenting itself. This is a person who has the beginning stages of a plan for the future, where they're moving forward. This is also the Six of Wands as a Leo energy. It's a card of recognition, as in your person being recognized for something, or your person coming to some sort of a recognition themselves that allows forward movement for them. When I clarify this Queen of Pentacles, I get the Star, the Hanged Man, and the Five of Cups. The Star is the Aquarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of hope. It's a card of healing. It's a card of wish fulfillment. It's also card 17 of the Major Arcana. Card 16, the one right before this, is that tower that I saw in the story on the bottom of the deck. So this is, you don't make it to the Star without going through the tower first, without the collapse of something important in your life, something coming apart, whether that's a relationship or a belief system. Something came apart. And this is the guiding light from the universe that's supposed to light the way for them, to like light the path so they can see their way moving forward from here. It's right next to work, but it's also right next to the moon. Next I have the Hanged Man. Pisces energy of progress being halted. There is no forward movement happening. Things are stuck, they're stagnant, they're at a dead stop, dead standstill. Now the Hanged Man hangs upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different perspective than normal, a different point of view than he would normally look at things from. And he's doing that trying to figure out how to get unstuck. How can I get unstuck and move forward? This is a person who's looking external to them, though. They're not looking inside themselves like the Hermit does. They're looking at the things around them, the people around them, the situations around them. All this external stuff has me stuck. Not me, not my actions. It's the stuff that has me stuck. And that's right next to this Page of Swords, this uncovering of information, this figuring something out, and the Wheel of Fortune, the changing of this. This is almost like being in a commitment has collapsed something for them. And the way moving forward is to put the brakes on this, to keep this stuck. And the final card here is the Five of Cups. This is Scorpio energy again. This is sadness and remorse about the past. It's about being focused on these three cups that have been spilled, all the love and emotions that have been spilled and wasted, all the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. And at the same time, there is a connection in the background here. Two upright, completely full cups. That just doesn't have the focus right now. What the focus is on, that's what this card at its core is really about. What a person focuses on literally dictates to them what emotions they experience, what energies they experience. So here a person is focused on something that they've lost, and they're feeling the loss. They're focusing on something that they believe is missing in their life, and they're feeling that gap in their life. They're focused on the past, and they're feeling what they felt in the past. And what they're not focused on is what they could be happy about, what they already have, and the opportunities that they have with that. And it's like their focus is in the wrong spot. There's sadness and remorse here, though, which could represent feeling guilty for something that I did. I put the brakes on this. I caused a tower. It's like I've healed from it, but I don't think you have. And there's this sadness and remorse about turning our teamwork and collaboration and what we were building together upside down. But there's this whole concept still of the path that I wanted to go down was not the same path. It was not the same path. It was, you wanted a different thing than I wanted, and I had to leave you behind, and I had to leave you behind. I just did it wrong, and I did this sneaky, deceptive bullshit that I shouldn't have done, and I kept things hidden when I should have just come out and spoke the truth on it, but I was too immature to do that. And instead, I was immature and took the first steps down a brand new path. And I knew what I should have done. I didn't. I saw that Knight of Pentacles a couple of times, and I just detached and I walked away. Now, if you still have questions about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. And when you do, you'll be taken to more Cancer love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.